What's going on, everybody? This is Daniel Harms with the RGR Football Channel, film analyst here, and today we have another film room. Back to the rookie film guide, and I can't wait to get into the latest player because this is one of my favorite picks for the Chiefs in the draft. They were able to trade back from their original draft spot at 50 and still get him after three receivers went before him. So Skyy Moore now is a Kansas City Chief, played at Western Michigan. There was a ton of intrigue about who were the Chiefs going to select with their first second round pick, and it came down to being a wide receiver, something we always expected from Kansas City. The biggest thing for me is coming out of a smaller school, how do you project that? We're going to see in his tape exactly why most are really comfortable projecting him to be able to be successful at the next level. But let's get to some of the stats first. He caught 94 passes for nearly 1,300 yards at Western Michigan and 10 touchdowns. That's incredible. He also had more broken tackles with 26 than any other receiver in college football in the FBS. That's incredible. He was able to break tackles at a running back pace, and when you watch his film, it makes a lot of sense. He's built like a running back, about 5'10", 5'11", almost 200 pounds. He has that build to him. Fun fact about Skyy Moore, he didn't even play wide receiver until he got on campus at Western Michigan. He was recruited as a defensive back, and he played that prior in high school, and then they called him up, said, look, we know we recruited you as a DB, but you're going to make the change to wide receiver day one. Get in, start working. He broke out as a true junior. That is what you're looking for, the development over the first 2 years, and then you break out at that junior year, early declare as well, coming out after his junior year, goes in the second round. You love all of those things about his profile that lends itself to being an excellent player in the NFL. Again, 26 missed tackles, and one of the things that I really wanted to see was the fact that he's built more like a slot receiver, but actuality, he only played 35% of his total snaps in the slot last year, so he has the multi-versatile functioning to his skill set, as well as a 91% win rate against press man coverage. Everything you're looking for a wide receiver in this offense. Get open, beat press coverage, and become a safety valve for Patrick Mahomes. Things that we haven't seen from the wide receivers outside of the top guys. They now have another younger player that can beat press coverage, at least in film and on tape and in theory at the NFL level. So let's go ahead and get into his tape, because this is one of, like I said, one of my favorite picks, and I truly think he can be an instant impact player probably from day one, but as we all know, it's a bit hard to learn Andy Reid's system. So as you can see, he didn't have a hugely developed route tree at Western Michigan. A lot of slants, a lot of goes, a lot of curls, and a couple drag routes. But this is one of the main reasons I think he can succeed, is even though the DB does a really good job of keeping his eyes on the quarterback and anticipating the break here, he goes with him. He was already taking a step in that direction before Skyy Moore broke. But watch, doesn't matter. He still beats him there, and then he takes a hit over the middle from the safety coming in. He's able to hold on to that football. Like, this is what we're looking at for a guy his size. And even though the DB broke on that football and the throw a little bit early, he comes out of his break and accelerates through it. Everything you're looking for. You want all of these types of things from this wide receiver. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, shifty. He just makes the catch. It's a little bit behind him. He still is able to do it, and he does it with exceptional hands and then eyes, attacks the ball in the air, makes the catch through contact. Everything. He's got it all in these one play in terms of being a guy you can move the chains on very quickly. And I think that that's one of the things that's going to get him on the field early. Being a trustworthy player on some of these third downs and pretty much everywhere. Just being able to get him the ball and let him work. Like I said, get him the ball and let him work. But he does the work before he even gets out of his break here. Down at the bottom here, more of a reduced split-ish type of look to the single side of the field. Again, against press coverage, he's going to do an excellent job of, once again, the release packages that he offers. Makes that corner bite a little bit to the outside, and when you have a cornerback doing this as his body is kind of going this way, you're in a win now position, as I like to call it. He's already won. He's broken across the face of the corner, and he's just trying to grasp at straws to get over on him. So again, boom. right here, and you're winning. This is the one position. It's over for that corner. There's nothing he could do. And then he loses a step because Skyy Moore does a great job of once again fighting through the little bit of contact there is, leaning right there to the outside and then breaking towards the inside to catch the football for a touchdown. Nobody in the background. There's nothing that they could have done differently to make it any better. He just does a great job, again, of selling the route outside early and then coming back to the inside with nothing else in front of him. Does everything. I know I'm saying that a lot because he really does. He does. He gives you everything that you're looking for in a wide receiver. So more on the outside, winning, just, winning across corners' faces, just continuously does that at every single game. This is one of those games where NIU is a bit lower competition in my opinion, and he abused the corners. If you're having trouble finding him, he's down at the bottom of the screen here. Yeah, just again, man coverage, just eating it up on the outside with the release package, hesitation at the top of his stem, boom, gone, big play. That's just what he does. He brings it to the table, is always around the football, finding ways to catch it. He's just getting open. One of the great things of seeing him at a smaller school like this is when you're looking to project that type of player to the next level, do they dominate? You have to be aware of how they can dominate those kind of things, and he dominates these games in and out. So this is probably my one area of griping with Skyy Moore. I know everyone thinks he's like a super solid after the catch player. I'm less on that board, okay? Because I think that there are lots of things that you want to see from him and that he doesn't necessarily have. Personally, I like to see a bit more explosion out of that first step after the catch. The catch to attack that he has, it's okay. It's not great. Like right here, you're seeing he's wide open. This should be easy money type of running catch ability with his speed. Look, the guy even undercuts the block here. He goes this way instead of around so he can come here. But look how long it takes him to accelerate. And he stops for a little bit too. Like I don't think he has the true early breakaway acceleration and speed in his routes to be a true yak demon in the NFL. He's going to have some plays where he breaks tackles, which is obvious. I think he's a built well guy. He has that ability to just continuously fight through contact and break tackles. But what I'm looking for is the twitchiness and that ability to really start, stop, and go, accelerate, and they can get you those extra yards after the catch. Things that I don't necessarily think he has. So I do see him as being more of a guy who's going to create a ton of separation in the NFL still with his release packages, with the way he can manipulate and hesitate and force corners to do something they don't want to do, make them think a little bit longer than they want to think. And he can do all that and get open. After the catch, I have some questions because I do think that even though he runs a 4.41 in his 40, it's more build-up speed than anything. You're going to see him in the slot on this play here. This is the famous play that people want to point to. And it's not even like a great play because the corner's bad. But what I want you to focus on are two things: the release and then the catch, because everything in between is just him being a much better player than the person he's playing against. So watch the little skip, the slow skip, and then that's where he gets to the release. These are the kinds of things that Davante Adams does that get him open no matter who he's playing against and how many players he's playing. So you see him just kind of slow into that and then hesitate, chop steps, force that corner to think and freeze, and then you're able to get on top of him to stack him and get around him, especially when you see there's nobody else around that can even do anything. It's a great understanding that, yes, you're going to have probably pressure up front, but I think you outmatch them. You can get a better understanding, specifically of the quarterback, how he sees this unfolding with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you have two linebackers here. One, that there's nobody else that can come out here and stop this. So if you can give yourself a little bit of time, because you know that Skyy's going to manipulate this guy open, especially if he's running a fade, you can get the ball downfield to him, and he does a great job of doing it. And again, Moore does an excellent job of just being open. And then this is what I'm talking about: the extension. He's not a hugely like big guy. He doesn't have the longest arms. Funny enough, he actually has longer arms than Trent McDuffie because he did play corner. He's 5'10", 31-inch arm corner, which is kind of the build you're looking for. Maybe a little bit taller, but still extension. He has 10.5-inch hands, and he can really use them. It's one of the reasons I think he only had 3 or 4 drops last year at Western Michigan. He just has incredibly strong hands, and he knows how to use them. He times things well. He tracks the ball downfield very well for, a guy who gets pegged as a pure slot receiver. He can do everything in terms of catching the football. This is probably one of my favorite plays that he has, and I know it's out of the slot, but it's, again, against man coverage. You're noticing a lot here. He's got a lot of man coverage instincts. But look at this. It's a great throw, too. Like, this is one of my favorite plays from watching him, and it's all just more hesitation-based. But this time it's an outside break. It's not an inside break. It's him going to the sideline, having to make a catch, inbounds, get those 2 feet in against man coverage. Once again, you're going to see the lean into contact. One of the most important things, I think, in beating man coverage one-on-one, especially for a smaller guy. How do you deal with coverage? How do you deal with contact and physicality? This is one of the ways you can really, really make yourself open. In the NFL, you're probably going to get a little bit more holding, but if you can lean into that contact and break off of it, you create an extra step of separation because the corner has to feel you coming inside. So he's automatically moving his body with you, and then you break outside so quickly that it creates an extra step here, and you don't have to worry about him getting to that ball. All you have to focus on is catching it, keeping your feet in bounds, carrying it through contact, and through ground contact. And he does a great job of doing it. Very, very smart player who understands his abilities. And again, he got that foot in. He drugged the other one. Just a really impressive play from Skyy Moore. Again, just dismantling this NIU defense all on his own, essentially. He had 3 touchdowns in that game. I guess we got a little bit of leeway on this one. This one's a little bit fast for me. Okay. Sorry, we're having some trouble with this clip. It didn't get all the way in there. So he's at the top of the screen. I'm going to have to pause it really quickly here. All right, so I'm not sure what happened, but the generation of this clip did not work out very well. So again, we're just going to see this one was more of a speed release. He didn't have a whole lot of hesitation, but you're going to see him break off the corner there. Look at this. He's able to break so easily. It's not going to be a huge change to the NFL on that, but he does an excellent job of breaking and having those short, sinking his hips, and he's able to get out of that break quickly. Just one more time at the top there, just so you get a good understanding of it, because the clip didn't work out. So for that, I am very sorry. And then we have more problems on this. At least on my end, I'm having some trouble with the quality. But this back into Skyy Moore just being a better player downfield as well. I don't think he's going to be a huge downfield threat in the NFL. I think that this is going to be much more of what you can be accustomed to. What you should look forward to is him and Mahomes getting on these back shoulder throw types of plays where he is open downfield, and I do think that you could probably make a case you can fit this ball in here. But Caleb Elby is not Patrick Mahomes. He underthrows it and locates it behind him a little bit, and then he's able to track it, come back to it, make the catch and bounce. Again, on the sideline, you have to understand how to play near the sideline. And he does an excellent job of knowing where he is, giving himself like a yard or two buffer, and is able to make the adjustment to that catch. So just an excellent job of him knowing where he is on the field, giving himself a little bit of a buffer, and then locating, catching it inbounds for a big play. I'm hoping that he's able to get more of his deep threat ability, but I'm less confident he can do that. I don't think he has the immediate acceleration to really create that separation downfield that you need. I think a lot of corners can keep with him through most of his routes, and that's going to be the one hindering factor in his game. Just pinball wizard. You guys all heard the song. The Pinball Wizard right here. This is one of those. Another thing. Again, his route tree wasn't huge. You've seen a lot of goes, a lot of curls, and a lot of inward breaking routes. A couple outs, but this is what it is. There's not a ton of advanced routes to his game, but he knows how to run everything extremely well. You don't need a ton of separation on these smaller routes, these inward breaking routes, to be impactful, especially when you can break tackles like this dude and he can bounce off of everybody. Like, that's just insane. That type of, again, vision, knowing where the defense is, knowing you're going to get hit. He can go over the middle of the field and secure a catch. He can do it very, very well, in my opinion. And with him and Travis Kelce being guys that can go over the middle, I think you can get Juju Smith-Schuster to do that too. You're creating an offense that can actually threaten the middle of the field when you have Marquez Valdes-Scantling and Mecole Hardman that can do things down the field. I think you have a potential three-level threat in Skyy Moore, more of the breaking open kind of guy, not going to be burning people downfield, but he can find soft spots in the zone, and he can beat man coverage downfield too, with breaking inward, breaking outward, or breaking back to the football. So I think that you're developing an offense that can truly beat coverages underneath, and Skyy Moore is going to be a focal point of that entire youth movement that the Chiefs are seeing, especially especially right now. I think that he's going to be one of those guys that you can just pin in the next couple of years of having excellent seasons, because he can just win in multiple ways. The different types of releases, he has extremely strong hands, and again, coming back to it, finding the football, the location and vision are very, very important to seeing the field. I believe that he sees the field like a defensive back, and it's one of the reasons that he understands how they play so well. It didn't work out so much for Mecole Hardman. We're hoping to seeing that kind of route running ability from him come this season, but Skyy Moore has it right now. Like, he has it right now. He was able to mold that vision of seeing the defense in his mind into his wide receiver game, and he just has extremely quick feet, loose, flexible hips. He can get in and out of breaks on a dime. He can move one way, he can move another, and I truly believe that he runs after the catch much like a running back with his vision and the way that he can just kind of pinball off guys. So I'm excited about his addition to this offense, and he's probably going to play this year. Maybe not as much as most of us probably want him to, but he's going to have a hugely successful career with Patrick Mahomes, because I think that they see the field. No one really sees the field the same as Mahomes. He just sees like deep everything. I want to throw it everywhere, and I can see everything, and I can make every throw. But they're going to get on the same page early with the way that he can get open, and the way that Mahomes is adapting his game, and the way that I think that they want to adapt his game with. You have those field stretchers, but now you have man beaters underneath. You had to, when you had really good man coverage, you really couldn't get any of the other Chiefs receivers, Byron Pringle, Mecole Hardman, Demarcus Robinson, they couldn't get open. We're seeing a shift from that, and I think Juju can do it. We know Travis Kelce can do it. I think Skyy Moore can do it too. So we're seeing a shift in Kansas City, and right now the youth movement's impacting the players that are going to be on the field, and I think Skyy Moore is going to be a big, big part of this offense going forward. I hope you guys enjoyed this film review, because, like I said, I'm excited talking about him. He's a lot of fun. But what I want from you is to give me the next rookie that you want to see a film room on. I don't have any Fayetteville State, so I can't do Joshua Williams. I probably the only guy that I really can't do, but I'll work with what I've got. Let me know who you guys want next, and we'll go ahead and do that. I'm sure we'll get to a Justin Ross film review as well, because we have to talk about his tape prior to his surgery. So that will be on the docket as well. I hope you guys have a great day. Make sure you tune in tomorrow to Ryan and Seth and the Chief in the North, and make sure you hit that like, hit the bell, hit the sub notifications, so you guys get everything that we do here at the RGR channel every single week. Have a great day.
Thanks for watching this video from the team at RGR Football. Click these videos to see more, and subscribe to RGR Football.